Hey everyone, RompSteel back again with game number 2 between myself and Rex. So for this one, of course, we're switching sides, so I'm Shadow and he's Free Peoples. So I do my usual 0 eyes and roll this charming roll. 2 eyes, 4 volunteers, and 1 army movement. So normally you'd hope for 2 musters / hybrid dice so you can get Saruman in, right? Yeah, we're not there. I mean, it could be worse. It could be 7 eyes. That would be worse. But yeah, anyway, here we are. So I pick up strategy cards because I don't know what else here. Maybe I should have picked up character cards instead and tried to go for corruption. But at the same time, it's only turn 1. Like, I'd rather stick with the plan because I feel like military victory is still usually more reliable anyway. So he moves and he's safe. I keep picking up cards. He moves and he's safe. That's kind of happy, kind of sad, because like I don't want Gandalf to die, but at the same time, I'd rather he got hit. Yeah. Anyway, so I pick up more cards because like I could play many kings, but then I still have 2 Palantirs to do something with, so I'm going to be picking up again anyway. So, okay, so he does the usual shuffling armies along. I play many kings, and he musters the north down to war, and I move these armies. So yeah, Celeborn's and Thranduil's for his turns 1 and 2 pickup. That's oof. Yeah. Anyway, so I allocate 1 eye because I have to, but I roll enough musters to at least get Saruman this turn, so that helps anyway. So I mentioned I've definitely not used up all the W's. In game 1, I had +5 on Wills of the West by the end of the game, so that's why I mentioned that anyway. Moves again, and he's safe. I think for a little bit about what to do, and then I muster Sauron down. So at this point, the plan, since I have shadows on the Misty Mountains, that makes the Moria and Dol Guldur army combine really well to take out Lorien. So I'm not planning on taking this army up to Lorien like I do sometimes. Now the plan is that this guy's going to go north, and hopefully with this army, it should be a pretty solid wipe of Dew. But if I walk right now, then I'm making it obvious where I'm going, and he can start mustering down the elves. Whereas if I, just muster Sauron down and muster and use this to get Saruman down, then I'm not committed. So it's a whole nother turn before he knows what I'm doing, and I'm only delaying myself by 1 step and getting that mustering in instead. So he plays Thranduil now just for the cycle, which is reasonable. Because like I already played this, so he already knows I'm going to do so. Who knows? Maybe I should have been walking instead. Oh well. So I play Shelob. Moves. He gets hit, and it's a 1 reveal. So I think killing Gandalf and revealing there makes sense. You're back. And we're back again. Okay. So he chooses to lose Gandalf, which is, he doesn't have a Will of the West right now. It's kind of on the safe side for speed, on the risky side for corruption. But he draws a 0, so good to have Gandalf dead for that anyway. So yeah, let's see, it was 5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. So 1 in 3 chance that he wasn't able to kill Gandalf. Yeah, pays off. So I get Saruman, of course. He hides, and I play the Palantir because I'm thinking next turn he clearly wants a Will of the West to bring in Gandalf the White, and it's unlikely that he'd get 2, so I'll probably get some use out of it or make him use a ring on it. So he gets Book of Mizarble, Elven Rope. Nice stuff. He chucks I will go alone. I think that makes perfect sense. So I allocate the 1 eye, of course, and then I roll 2 more. And he gets a fantastic move where he can bring in Gandalf and he can still move twice this turn. So that's very sad for me. He moves, gets missed. I play Pits of Mordor here. So there's a few different ways I could have done this. I could still combine these armies and go after Lorien, but I feel like with Pits of Mordor and Shadows on the Misty Mountains, and maybe that guy, I think this army, it doesn't need Dol Guldur anymore. Whereas now that Thranduil's been played, I think this army is a little more necessary up here. So I'm going to just play Pits of Mordor, and then I'm going to go attack so that the north is at war, and then I'll get the Witch King with my last die. Which is risking some more reinforcements getting there, but I feel like I really need to speed up. So I really need the Witch King in right now. He moves again. He's hit. It's a 3. He takes random and loses Pippin. Which makes perfect sense because obviously he's planning on bringing in Gandalf and then playing Book of Mizarble. So it's nice that he has someone in Fangor now. So yeah, I head out towards Woodland Realm. I attack Old Forest. He doesn't have scouts, which is actually a bit unlucky on his part. You'd think he'd have scouts by now, but he has advantageous position, and I miss. So that's a good advantageous position, stopping both of those 5s from being hits. And he gets 1 hit. So yeah, that's just it's very sad stuff for me right now. So he brings in Gandalf, of course, and I attack Dale. He doesn't have a card, and I do get a hit this time anyway, so that helps anyway. Like on the plus side, if you're going to pick one to get in, it's definitely better that the one without the leadership got in anyway. So I debate for a bit, but I'm thinking, the North is at war, so I want to be able to stop Carrick because he can muster in there right now. I didn't bring into consideration fully that Gandalf's right there and he can play Book of Mizarble. So yeah, he does that, and now the dwarves are at war. So anyway, just problems everywhere. The nations are at war. The dwarves are at war anyway. So I have to pick one of these to throw out. Let me know which one you would have chucked. I feel like the debate is mainly between Denethor's Folly or King is Revealed. I think, which one do I end up? Yeah, I chucked the King is Revealed because I'm between half-orcs and goblin men and bringing this orc along. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to use Devilry of Orthanc, and it's like I'd rather get one for free than have to pay with a regular for that. So anyway, also worried about Power 2 Great, and it's nice to have an army card that you don't care about as much, whereas I feel like both of these are more valuable. So okay, so this is an okay turn for me, and a great turn for him. So he musters the elite there, and I use my Palantir one more time before he's going to take it away. I was a little surprised he didn't take it away right at first, but as he points out, like if he hadn't done that, then I would have been able to move over, and he'd only been able to muster Erebor once. This way, he's guaranteed to be able to muster it twice. Because even if I had Day Without Dawn, the Southrons aren't at war, so I couldn't play it anyway. So now he takes away the Palantir, and now I take over Carrick and move over there so they can't muster there anymore. That's at least nice that I have the North wrapped up and dealt with. But Erebor is now a very, very difficult nut to crack. I mustered there just in case he plans on fighting me for a field battle. That's why I played that one first. I don't know. Maybe that was a poor choice. I don't know. He moves, and I hit him and reveal him. So that's nice anyway, because he was going to be able to move a second time this turn if he hadn't got revealed. So he takes the 1 as corruption, which I think makes sense. I play Lure of the Ring here. Yeah, because I'm not planning on doing battles that require use of cards. So I'm going to have an extra card here anyway. And, I'd think, there's a chance that I'll get Strider. And if I don't get Strider, then I'm making the Fellowship smaller, and maybe I'll get him with Foul Thing later. Or maybe he'll lose him to a random. I get Gimli, so that's meh. Like, I'm speeding him up towards Gollum, which is bad, but that is also 2 health out of the Fellowship, so meh. I put Erebor under siege just so he can't muster anymore. I also, because I'm planning on coming and attacking Lorien, I don't want to attack Woodland Realm and put elves to war right now. But I also don't want to commit to Erebor, because then if this army comes and attacks Lorien and makes the elves at war, I want this army at hand to be able to besiege Woodland Realm. But I also don't want to commit too hard to Woodland Realm, because then this army can sortie and be free to muster up again. So yeah, anyway, that's why I'm doing this the way I'm doing this. And I attack Iron Hills because, again, I don't want to let him muster anymore next turn. So he plays Horn of Gondor instead of hiding. Yeah, that's reasonable, because he has Strider's Guide. He can hide with anything. So. Then he brings those armies along. Okay, now I've got Day Without Dawn and Balrog. So that's nice. That makes my plans for going after Lorien feel better anyway. Because this army, this plus Shadows on the Misty Mountains and an Orc, that's going to be a 5-2-1 army. So that's not super in my favor. Even less so knowing that he's had Celeborn since turn 1. But with Durin's Bane, that could help a lot. Okay, so I allocate 1 and roll another 1. That's a huge roll for me anyway, that he only gets 1 movement, because now even with spending a ring, he can only do 2 movements, so he can't make it to Mordor this turn. If he'd had even a second character die, then he could make it to Mordor this turn. Anyway, so he hides to start off with. I play Shadows on the Misty Mountains. I start shuffling my armies along. and he plays Faramir's Rangers here. Makes sense. I draw another card here because I don't want to play two of these cards. I might have rushed Ministrith and played Denethor's Folly, but now after I tackle Osgiliath, it's going to be a well-defended stronghold anyway. Because that leader in Elite is probably going to get to run back in there. I could run all the way around, I guess, but I don't know. That it just doesn't feel super worth it to me. So I draw a card. It's Orcs Multiplying again. I play it. So now it's at least like between Pits of Mortar and Orcs Multiplying again. The Mount Gundabad army is pretty healthy anyway. So between these three armies, I'm still not sure if that's actually going to be enough to take out Doob, but it might be, if cards and dice go well. So he moves and gets hit and revealed. That helps. So I bring the armies in. He hides. I attack Lorien just in case he has power too great. Obviously want to besiege that one first. And he played Celeborn. Yeah, there you go. Very sad stuff for me. And he gets Cyrodiils there. Not going well for me. So I attack Osgiliath because I'm thinking, at least this way I'll get to put him under rerolls, and next turn I can threaten running to Dol Amroth because I don't know that he just picked up Cyrodiil. So I'm also thinking like I conveniently don't have the elves at war right now anyway. So this would be a good time for me to quick run go get Dol Amroth before I put the elves at war. So he retreats to Ministrith, of course. Which one? He chucks Gwai here. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Gandalf's pretty far away from the action, so it's not as useful as it usually is. And the rest of these are all pretty good cards. Which one do I chuck? I chuck Monsters Roused here, and I live to regret it. Again, same reasoning. I get +1 for free as opposed to making the other army stronger. Like, all the armies I'm besieging are really strong, so giving them the extra dice doesn't feel good. Anyway. So he gets that roll. That'll help him get to Mordor. So I don't hit him on 4 dice at 6, which to be fair is only slightly over 50%. It still feels bad anyway. I muster the Southrons closer to war. He moves again. Gets hit with the eye for 2R, so that helps anyway. Gets revealed in the stronghold. Gets a 3 and draw Strider. So I'm feeling a little more hopeful now that, if he just doesn't roll a lot of movement, maybe I still have a shot. Because without Strider, Mordor's a lot slower anyway. And now he's at 4 corruption with 5 health of companion. So that's like, you certainly have a shot at making it, but I also have a shot at corrupting you. Anyway. What do I do here? Right now I decide to run for Dol Amroth because he only has the 1 muster. So, yeah. So I don't hit that guy. He gets a hit back. It's frustrating little things this whole game, I attack Laemden. This time I get him, and he doesn't get me back, so that helps. He musters in Dol Amroth, of course. So now I'm really wishing that I hadn't used that character die to attack Osgiliath. Now I'm wishing I could use that to bring the Witch King down so I could attack Dol Amroth this turn, because he does have Círdan's ships, and he can't play it right now because the elves aren't at war. But I had other plans that I don't remember for why I did that like that. So I play that one first because I don't know what to do. He hides. Right, I muster the Southrons down. He plays Elven Rope. And I move my armies in closer on the Dew line. So I chuck Lilith Eye. He gets Ents and King Brand. Okay, so I roll a lot of eyes. He gets a couple movement and a few musters. So I'd say on the whole, that's a better roll for him as long as he doesn't draw an eye. And he doesn't. He gets a 3, so out goes Boromir in 1 corruption. I chuck my other red tile in there because obviously there's no way I'm getting to 10 points this turn, so I'm kind of praying that he just hits red tiles. I bring in the Mouth of Sauron. Right, this makes more sense now knowing that he has Círdan's ships in hand. At the time, it seemed like a little bit of a silly use of those musters to bring the elves down to war, but no, that makes perfect sense. I attack Woodland Realm because obviously I don't want to let him muster in there. He puts Mithril Coat down, which I think makes sense. Moving again and risking the 5 damage from an eye when I'm not that close to winning. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Debated for a while about what to do here because the Sauron Force Pool, until I took that hit on Pelargir, was actually exhausted. Between Pits of Mordor and Hill Trolls and Orcs Multiplying again, there was actually not a single Orc or Troll left to be mustered for Sauron. So my original plan was I was going to muster a Troll there, but then I realized that I couldn't muster a Troll there. So I debated for a while what to do about that muster. Could have brought an Oliphant there or an Oliphant there. or muster these wargs a bit. But I feel like I'm kind of already, I don't know. Anyway, so I end up mustering a regular and a Nazgul there because I'm thinking I'm going to need to go fast. So I think I'm going to kind of do a split leadership there and there. So I hopefully don't have to spend as much time pivoting. So that's why that Nazgul will be helpful. And I have the Mumakil card to bring in this army's reinforcements to Lorien. So an extra work there is still helpful. Oh, never mind. He uses the ring to go ahead and move anyway. Right. I guess now that he had Mithril Coat, like even if he did hit an eye or a red, he can dodge it. But yeah, still obviously a very nice draw for him, a 3 and a 2, like no reveals after he lost Riders. That was very frustrating. I flipped the mouth. That sounds like I'm doing something insulting, doesn't it? I flipped the mouth. Anyway, so I used the mouth's ability to play the Shadow was moving just because I'm going to have to check a card anyway, and this, gets armies moving a little bit faster. Okay, so now he's got scouts on the red arrow. Okay. So I don't roll any eyes and I roll lots of attacks. So I remember doing the math, like it is possible that I could win on military this turn if I like conquer all these strongholds in like 1 or 2 dice. But like it's a 1-4-1, a 2-2-1, a 1-3-1, a 3-1-0, and he has Círdan's ships in hand. So like, yeah, good luck, Bob. On the plus side, so he moves into Shelob, but he has Mithril Coat and Sting, so now he gets the eye. Could have used that last turn, but anyway. So now he's down to Golem. So I shuffle armies. Like, I want to bring in regulars to protect these elites so I can press down that attack, because I still have my hopes of winning this turn. So I attack Woodland Realm. It's nice getting to use Weakham to kill with 4 elites. He has a shield wall, so I get 1 hit. He gets 3 hits back. Oh, we actually didn't do the leadership roll for him. Huh, he missed it. Wow. And then I do my post attack, and it's just a whiff. So that feels bad. I press, use the Devilry of Orthanc now, and I roll all 4, so it's very sad. If I'd kept that Relentless Assault and played that here and taken 2 hits, then that would have been 4 hits, and that would have been great. He gets 1 hit back. I attack Woodland Realm again. At this point, I officially gave up on trying to win this turn, and now I'm cycling character cards and hoping to do some damage to him because, I don't know, he is down to Golem and at 5 corruption. If I get lucky and he hits a couple red tiles, maybe I can corrupt him. I get 2 hits. He gets 1 back. I press. I don't bother playing a card because, I don't know, none of these feel like a particularly great choice. I get 1 hit. He gets 1. I don't press because, again, I just want to cycle cards right now. I bring in the reinforcements. I cycle War Sore and Toil here. I get just 1 hit again. He gets 1 back. Now I press because I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. Life is crazy. He plays a Heroic Death, but this time I finally roll 2 6s. So he gets a hit back, and that's that. And now he plays Círdan ships because he knows I just cycled a character card, so I guess he wants to make sure he gets that reinforcements in slightly inefficiently, losing a regular, but that's still better than if I did have Ringwraiths or Abroad or Black Captain commands and like pivoted down here and played a Deadly Strife and blew it up in 1 shot. Then he'd feel very silly for not playing it. So I think that's the correct call. I move Nazgul around, doing that split that I'm talking about, hoping to get lucky and blow up both of these somehow. Okay, so I attack Lorien because I have this card to cycle and I put the Witch King there. So I get 2 hits with Balrog, so slightly lucky. And then I get no hits and he gets 3. So just more of the same from Woodland Realm. And he uses a ring to move again here, which makes sense. He takes 1 hit and reveals, which I think also makes sense. That does make me glad, though, because now I know that I can keep trying to cycle character cards, and I'll at least have 1 turn to be able to do something next turn, because next turn he'll need to hide and then try to move, whereas if he hadn't hidden, then next turn he could just move, and I wouldn't have anything to do about it. Okay, so I bring in armies, and he musters in Gondor, and I attack Lorien again to cycle. Okay, take 3. Right, so I'm attacking Lorien and just cycling. 2 hits to his 3. Yeah, just a very oof kind of game. I cycle into a Sealed Earth, though, so there's some hope there. So I get 1 hit. He gets 2 back. Now we go to another turn. Let's see, which one do I check? I chuck Rage to the Dunlendings here. Yeah. I roll 3 more. He hides. So he has 6 corruption to go. The only thing in there that would kill him is Shelob. So I look something up. The thing I wanted to look up is whether I'm allowed to play a card and then use an allocate an eye to put in there. So the situation I might want that is if I play Sealder's Bane and I draw the 2, or Shelob and it does 2, then I would want to put an eye in there so that an eye does 4 damage. And then it would still kill him if he moved this turn. As opposed to, if I just whiff and draw an eye, then there's no point in putting an eye in there. That doesn't make a difference. So I looked it up, and you do have to put an eye in first anyway, if you're going to put one in. So I decided I might as well put one in because, I'm kind of shooting for those Hail Marys at this point anyway. So then I play Sealder's Bane, and I draw the 3. So that's... it's kind of good news, kind of bad. Like, it's great, obviously, that I get to do 3. He tries to reveal, but you can't with the Sealers. So that's good news for me anyway. The downside, though, is that now that's another red tile out. So it's kind of worse. I think I would have rather gone with the 2. But also, now that these are doing 4 damage, that's still better, because if he did have theirs another way, then he couldn't play that and then move and then be healed up 1. So he plays Athelas to try to heal up a bit more, and it whiffs. I carry on cycling because I'm hoping to get something else to hurt him. I get 1 hit and do 1 to myself. He draws a card and it's theirs another way. So, that's nice. That's just very nice. Yeah. I attack Lorien again. Use Phlox. I get my 1 hit. And I get to cycle another card. It's dreadful spells though, so it's not exactly cyclable at the moment. So I bring the Witch King down here because my plan is that I'm going to cycle cards 1 more time and hopefully draw something that I can play with the ring. I forgot that I can't, that I already used a ring, so I can't use one again. So it feels bad cycling a card that could do 1 corruption point to them, but it's very unlikely that I'm going to run into the Fellowship revealed here. That would only be if he draws the red tile and stops to get revealed. So not super likely. So I'd rather just cycle to hopefully, get the last red tile or get another tile, get a tile drawing card so I can try to hurt him more that way. I get 1 hit. He doesn't get a hit. I press because lol might as well. And I draw that card, which I'm happy about, so hopefully I can play it. I get 2 hits. That's that. And then I try to play it, and then he reminds me that I already used a ring, so just shooty, huh? So I can't do that. So instead I attack DA again. Right, and I use the Onslaught here just because I'm planning on bringing this army over anyway, so I might as well burn through a bunch of regulars to make it more efficient. So I get 0 hits with that. He gets 1 hit back, and I get the average 2 hits with that 4 Onslaught, so that's certainly conquerable now. Emerhill could still make my life a pain, but with this army coming, even if he plays Emerhill, I should still be able to conquer it. But that's unlikely to matter, as he's probably about to run. So he picks up There's Another Way, and then he also picks up Bilbo's Song. So, just in case I did have hope. Just kidding. No, I didn't. So I do get lucky enough to roll 2 eyes anyway. So that does mean that eyes are lethal right now. But since I, tipped the Dyad Foul thing, he decides to just go ahead and play There's Another Way and move. He probably would have done that even if I hadn't accidentally tipped my hand because, I do have 3 character cards, so I might have the other red tile or tile drawing cards. So I'm guessing he probably would have done it anyway because there's only 2 cards. There's only 2 tiles where he doesn't win now. It's just the red tiles that'll stop him. Shelob probably wouldn't even kill him. Even if it rolled a 4, he could still reveal to not die. So anyway, he gets the eye. So that's it. That's the end of the game. Just a very frustrating game for me. It's also, this is my first loss as Shadow in the tournament, so that's very sad. It would have been fun to make it through the tournament without losing a game as Shadow, but anyway, we chat for a bit. I mentioned how it would have been when I played Isildur's a couple spots ago. He was on 6 corruption, so if I'd pulled a Fran Atleti and drew Shelob and rolled a 6, then I could have won the game right there. That would have been fun. Fun for me anyway. And he comments on how he just happened to draw all the right cards. He I had Book of Mizarble to make Erebor strong, Thranduil to make Woodland Realm, Celeborn for Lorien, Círdan's for Dol Amroth. Just everywhere I went, he was able to defend. Would I have been able to win this turn? Only if I got lucky against Erebor anyway. I was probably going to be able to finish Dol Amroth, but I would have needed some good dice to take Erebor this turn. So anyway, let's take a look, see its statistics. Probably make me even more sad. Okay, well, at least I was -3 on 6s, -3 on 5s. I think it's actually even a little bit worse than it looks, because you might remember there were multiple times where when I hit on 5s, I rolled all 4s. And when I wasn't hitting on 5s, then I rolled a lot of 5s. So I don't know. I felt like I had bad luck there anyway. +4 on characters for him, +2 on eyes, +1 on Plantiers. Actually, pretty standard action dice in the end for me. Also, I didn't get Tournament's Armor. That's not that bad, actually. Yeah. So anyway, I guess it wasn't like that bad luck for me. A card drew bad, though, so I don't know. Oh, well. That's how the game goes. So probably not going to be able to play Game 3 until next Wednesday is what the schedule is looking like anyway. So hopefully the Free Peoples continue their luck of a good run, and I pull it out in Game 3. I'm expecting to lose at this point and go and play third place against FaZe. It would be kind of funny if I just keep getting fourth place, because I got fourth place last year, losing in the semifinals and losing in the third place match. So it'd be funny if maybe I'll get a world record for most fourth places in a row. We can see if I can do it again next year. Anyway, thanks for watching. Toodles.